side of the building matches up with the building. What? Oh, because of that thing. Right. I think. Yeah. I might have meant something different, to be honest, but we'll find that out eventually. Okay, so we're wanting this bottom one to be reinforced iron plate. Okay, cool, that lines up. So then the next one is rotor, I think. Yeah, so you can see this is where my brain started to fall to mush on the previous stream. Yep, there we go. Right, so the next one we were going to make it motor, because then well, it's not so much the next one. We want to make the one that ends up next to rotor to be motor. Because, yeah, then it'll be easy to belt shit over. So we don't want that one to be motor. We want it to be the other thing that I can't remember what it was. What is it we're making there? And then we can signpost it. Right, so that'll be rubber. Which makes it convenient to do adhered plate. There we go. Right, so the next thing to get made should be roller. There we go. Got that cleaned up. Fucking, I got junk like stuck in the mouse wheel again. Probably should like disconnect the mouse while I'm doing this, but yeah. So we're going to have at least one external output. One internal output. So we need oh, are we shipping those parts directly? Okay, that's a bit weird. It's also kind of weird that I've got wrote it down twice. Yeah, let's send them separately. So that's going to be one external output for there, one internal output for motors that we aren't making in line. So it's two external outputs. Okay, two external outputs. It's not going to have any internal. Sorry, it's not going to have any external inputs because I think we've got copper sheets down here somewhere. Either that or it's something else that's using copper sheets. Yeah. So this is using copper sheets, and it's taken the copper ingots directly from here. Although that's flagged for copper sheets. Is that actually the copper sheets output? No. That's circuit board, not copper sheets. this will be rotor. And then the other thing's going to be steel ingots. And that rotor is going out to smart plate, but that smart plate's being done in line, and I forget what for. Modular engine. And I should have memorized the amount of rotor, and I didn't. I mean, I could have photo mode zoomed, maybe. 5 unit a minute. I'm going to check the turbo motor recipe again. Because that whole thing with sending, well, listing rotor twice seems weird. Alright, so it's not, yeah, so that's consuming motor in all cases. It's just bad annotation. So if that's always motor... Oh no, wait, I misread. It is actually being used for turbo electric motor. Right, so yes, I do need actually account for the damn thing. So this is going to be turbo motor. And then that is going to be motor. 5 unit a minute of rotor. That's just going to be spread over one assembler. And we're going to wait for autosave before we go check on the amount of turbo motor needed, so we can calculate the appropriate rotor value. so you only need to make 1 unit a minute of turbo motor. Which means 6.5625 unit a minute of rotor. Oh no, it isn't. 0.5625 divided by 2.8125, so 2.3 recurring. Split over 1. And then the motors are going to be, do not know, because that's going to be the next manifold over, and I don't want to be going around totaling things up before I've gone and totaled up the resources needed here. Which means we can't actually go total up the resources here. Okay, so that's going to be copper sheet and screw. Now I can go illustrate this on the side of the building. I heard the alarm go off. Where's the actual bloody window at? Oh, there it moved. Idiot. So that's going to be rotor. We don't know how many we're making yet. That's going to be copper sheets. Yep, copy that. And that's actually no, that's screws, so I don't need to nudge that over yet. Have I got screws on here already? I don't think I do. Oh, circuit board. Let's get the correct layout template. Screws, we've got beams, just got steel ingots, there we go. So the next thing over is mortar. Well, say the next thing up was mortar, but the plan is to make electromagnetic control rod base mortar. So I really should make the next thing over the electromagnetic control rod. Get some belting done and figure that out after. v24. This is rotor. Going downstairs. Turbo motor. And then we want to do electromagnetic control rod. Just going to pull the wiki article up. Right, this isn't going anywhere but mortar at the moment. So it's got 2 inputs. We're going to be sending some to turbo motor. That's going to be at least one external output. Just check the signage downstairs and see if it's. Well, I don't think it's getting anything over there. Yeah, because we're pulling in motor, not inline production of motor. Oh, we've got blah, blah, blah. We've got this shit flagged for down here. Alright. Where is the... here we are. And then I'll have to travel up there. Right. So we need to get the total number of motors next. So we've got one external output for cooling. We're doing motors in line here because we're sending these two for alts. And the second external output for here. So that means the signage is going to be modular engine. Which means that one is just going to be straight up motor because I forgot electromagnetic control rod was downstairs. It's entirely possible I haven't paid attention and some of this shit's downstairs as well. One external input. 2, 3, 4. So that's electromagnetic control rod going up. I think it's 5 unit a minute for modular engine. Yep. Gonna get some background media on. Got one assembler. Turbo motors. Oop. Before I jump off, swap out the parachute. Hey, 4 unit a minute. Except, no, I'm not sending them there. Where was it I was sending them? Cooling system. 4.625. 9.625 divided by 7.5 times 3.75, 4.8125. ppm rotor. Two, three, four. M there. That's gonna be two of them. Right, 5 plus 2.3 plus 9.625 divided by 11.25 times 2.5. 33.916 recurring. $293.94. $7.83. That's still one. There we go. $39.08194. Excuse me. Finally make a decision and make that one the copper ore. There we go. Oh, hang on a second, I don't need to go around here just yet. I do. I've completely failed to remember at what point in the math the rotors dropped off. There we are. I think. Should we put the background media off so I can think straight a second? What number was it that I was updating? Oh yeah, it would have been the actual rotors. Alright, 16.9583. $33.916. 293.94. $5.6527. 22.61. So I need to copy that one as well. If we copy the number for that one, actually no, we'll copy the signage for that one and copy the number for that one because that's going on to a different size sign. I want to copy and paste that, so... Oh no, we've already copied that. Well, we've not copied that, we've already done that. Right, so we've got 60 plus 115.5 plus 6 plus 52.916 plus 22.61. That's 257.027. Balls. Oh, hang on a second. I annotated that incorrectly. Where did that 297 come from? Ah. 66. There we go. So that number up top's wrong. Divided by 60 times by 40. Yeah, that's recurring sequence time. This will probably also have recurring sequence. Yeah. Make a decision here, saying that one's coal, that one's copper, that one's iron. Although we could say for consistency that should be consistent with a copper ingot, it'll just be a different amount. So now we need to go update electromagnetic control rod. Still one assembler. We're already making data, I think, so I think the next thing on the list is the high-speed connector, although that really should have been put next to circuit board. Yeah, we've got both recipes. should have made note of the amount needed. Oh, this hasn't been updated. I need to do that before I copy this signage up, which will have a knock-on effect on the status. .5625. .28125. Hang on a second, was that a recurring sequence? None of those are recurring numbers. Where'd that recurring number come from? So that's going to need 2. Let's do the wire first. .383 recurring. 5.84583. 100.9083. Yeah, that's still good. 45416. 4186. Where's the 8 coming from? 45416, yeah. .583 times 3, 62.5375. And then if we decide to do it as pure 41.6916. Now that needs updating. .84583. Okay, now we reflect these numbers. Yeah, that hasn't been updated. Let's go grab the wire numbers. $175.375. Right. Steel ingot time. $89.15625. See, this is the kind of thing I would want to use fix-it networks for, to have like these signs all auto-update. The only thing is, I don't think I can. I wouldn't know how to format recurring sequences or detect recurring numbers in Lua, so okay, let's drop that in. Where's me steel ingots at? Here we are. Okay, so 60 plus 115.5 plus 89.15625 plus 52.916 plus 2.61. Get that done over here, because I messed that up a little bit last time. $340.184028. I'm just going to slap this into Google Calculator. Yeah, there we go. Obscured recursive number. So like, this is the kind of thing I'm on about. If I did this with fix-it networks, unless there's a thing in Lua which says this is probably a recursive number, some of the signage is going to be wrong. I mean, you might be able to hardcode some stuff, because you might be able to figure out, like, oh, if you divide one number by another number, it's always going to be recursive. You just might not know what it is. I'm hoping there's math libraries out there for that. Anyway, divide by 60 times by 40. So we've got 789351851. I have a feeling that's going to be recursive sequence. Because it's not displaying as a recursive sequence, but I'm going to pretend it is. Okay, I was going to wait for autosave to finish now. So we've got 715747404. Feels kind of weird that like these output signs are leaking into here. This isn't really a well planned out signage template, so I'm just rolling with it. So I think that might be everything updated. I want to go like double check. So we were doing electromagnetic control rods. And we've just finished updating Stator. So we've got to do this much high speed connector. There we go, got that copied properly. Finally back to here. Okay, so if we're doing silicon high-speed connector, then that's going to be 2 manufacturers. So we've got 4.28125 divided by 3 times by 90. 128.4375. $53.515625. Mini circuit board. I haven't unlocked that, right? So this is 2 different sets of numbers, not one set of numbers. 53.515625 divided by 37.5 times 22.5. So, excuse me. 32.109375. Divide that by 26.25 times by 18.75. was doing something funky with the silica, wasn't I? Oh, yeah. Sharing the belt inputs. So that limestone is now going to be over Mark 1. Oh, hang on a second. I've done that wrong. I haven't added all these up. There we go. I'm going to guess that's where the recurring sequence is. Yeah, so that's definitely of the Mark 1. Now we'll have to update that number as well shortly, so we won't go around this side yet. Or if that's 1, then that'll definitely be 1. $34.71875. That's going to be 2. I've got no idea if this is a recurring sequence or not, it's just a really long number. That's almost 70, so that's going to be around about 100-ish. So yeah, that's still fine for a Mark II. Oh, I've got a lot of signs to update now. Okay, let's do the silica one first, because that's the last thing we tinkered with. Probably should have copied some shit there. 95.934375. No, I've got that wrong. 934. Five, 6, 4, 5. There we go. And then we can just copy the number out of Google Calculator. And now we go update these. That's not right. Oh, gotta double it. Six, 5, 4, 1, 6. I messed that up. I was gonna wait for it to save again. Six, 5, 4. There we go. Right, 110.327. Is that a recurring sequence? Have I been getting weird numbers on these recurring sequences because I've been using an inconsistent number of decimal places? There we go. I think that's it for that one. Right, so we've done silica, we've done circuit board. So the next one is going to be this. And for this, I think I'm just going to take a photo reference because I've got four sets of numbers to memorize here. My memory is not that good. So we got 4.28125 UPM. I mean, one could make an argument that I should be doing the signs on the side here before I do the signs on the front of the building, because it's all in one place. So I could just be going like bloop, 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 instead of like, oh, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I just like pick what order to do these in based on convenience, rather than kind of laying shit out. It's not entirely random because it's based off that order plus intermediaries, but still a bit funky. Oh, I've got to get a photo reference of motor as well. Okay, 4375. Nine 515625. EPM. Right. Quick wire. Alright. There's Bucatium ingot. So just pull up the wiki. So 120.4375 divided by. Do I have fuse quick wire? No. Is there any other recipe that needs quick wire? I have a eerie feeling there might be. Okay, no, because I'm not using quick-wire stator. If I was using a quick-wire stator, it might make sense to accommodate for that, but no. So let's just leave it as default recipe. .4375 divided by 60 times by 12. 25.6875. So we got 15 plus 5.84583 plus 25.6875. So 46.53 recurring. That's wrong. That's the total number of ingots. There we go. So next thing is going to be reinforced iron plate. Which is going to be funky because I want to do that as plastic coated steel stitched plate, but I want to account for the possibility of doing it as a tiered, just because the rubber's right there. Right, so we need to make 5 for the smart plate. Well, that's not where it's heading in terms of manifolding, it's heading towards that. It's going to be assemblers, but we won't know how many until I've picked which recipe I'm going with. Because I think an iron plate has lower iron plate requirements. Right, now let's check the other thingies to see if we need reinforced iron plate elsewhere, which I think we do because crystal oscillator. But there's no direct usage here. But I think there is other recipes, so like I say, crystal oscillator. Which again, no direct usage, but... Oh yeah, it's using modular frame. So that's going to be one extra internal input-output thing going on. Let's turn the wake-up alarm off early before it actually rings. There we go. Right, so both those do have crystal oscillator involved. So I'm gonna need 2 external outputs. Where is my modular frame at? Oh, here they are. That's going to frame. And then this one, we don't know, because I haven't done the math on the crystal oscillator yet. I thought it inherited the rotation of the thing it was next to. Anyway, yeah, 2 outputs. think this might be a better example of the kind of thing I was on about a couple streams ago, where I was saying, oh, I might use different recipes over here than I'd use everywhere else. Because we've got plans to put rubber production right next to reinforced iron plate production, because we need rubber over there and reinforced iron plate right next to each other. The idea is going to be, well, because we've got to do reinforced iron plate, 3, 4, and we've got to do rubber. Let's just use the adhered reinforced iron plate recipe. Might be a bit different if we haven't unlocked it yet, but in this case we have, so we good there. Thinking, rather than having this floor just extend indefinitely, that when we put rubber in, anything else remaining is going to go on the next floor. We might still shuffle stuff around because this floor is probably going to get longer than the building is. There have been circumstances where I've built floors out where, like, the actual width of the building's been wider than the number of manifolds, but I think that was more when I was maxing it. That was weird, LOD. There was a red dot over there and then it disappeared. Is that the day-night cycle kicking in? And I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, what was I waffling on about? Oh yeah, there was some of the buildings I used to build where, like, this was wider than the production. Just because I used to build manifolds out, so I would have it, like, capped to the production of, like, a Mark V belt. So if I needed less than one Mark V belt, there would only be one manifold for the entire floor. So it just means that, you know, it would just go on for as long as the manifold needed to be, which got to be a bit of a problem when I used to build the iron ingots over there, because I mean, you can see the non-nanited cliffs behind, like, the main facility. Like, the back wall would back up, like the back wall of the iron ingot floor would, like, back up into the cliff, which would mean I'd need, like, possibly multiple layers of mezzanine just to have, like, a Mark V belt length of iron ingots put in. And then it got, like, more fun when you unlocked pure iron ingots and say, oh, we have to use this recipe. And then had to dismantle all of that shit and put refineries in and blah. Like, that's one of the reasons why ingots were shifted out into a dedicated facility. Like, they used to be over in the, like, ingot facility over there with all the other ingots, and then I figured, well, I've got to make iron ingots for solid iron ingots, and I like that recipe, so let's just put the iron ingot production over there. Problem solved. Height of thingy reduced. Anyway, enough waffling on. So, we've got this, we don't know how many total resources it is, we don't know which recipe we're going for, but we're going to try and aim for the adhered iron plate. So the next thing to do is going to be rubber. There we go. Oh, is that in the right place? Yes. So we've got at least one external output and one internal output. So let's put that on now. And we're going to do recycled rubber. Yeah, I don't think we have any polyres production over here, so we're just going to use default plastic rather than polyres plastic. We've got iron plate and rubber in unknown amounts, so we can put these numbers on now. So it's 3.75 for adhered, so that's going to be 2 assemblers. So 2 there, and then we don't know how many there because we haven't done the math. And then this is also going to be for modular engine, and I didn't happen to memorize the thing, but the first thing we want to check, I was going to say the first thing we want to check is, are we using rubber anywhere else? I'm fairly confident we are. Might not be reflected on those signs, but I think the first thing I want to do is memorize the number of rubber here. So it's 37.5 rubber. Now, if we're making any heat sinks, we might end up using rubber. And we're using it there. So that's going to be a thing. And then if in the middle of it we decide to switch to the rubber-based heavy modular frame, that'll be another thing. So let's just have a look at the crafting list. Right, cooling system. Right, so okay, so that's 2 external outputs. Three external outputs. Four external outputs. Nope. So 4 external outputs. And 37.5 rubber. That's gonna be 1 finery. Let's get this belt connected. There we go. So we don't know how much rubber we need, so we don't know how much plastic and fuel we need. Yay. I can't remember which way round it is for plastic and rubber, that one of them produces more byproduct than is consumed. I can just quickly check that. Right, so default rubber produces the same amount of heavy oil residue as it does, well, rubber, and then default plastic produces half as much. But then you double that and you get the amount of fuel you would pull out of it. So yeah, this should have 0 byproduct. Because I would need 15 heavy oil residue to make 30 diluted fuel. So yeah, be good there. I mean, I could always like do it multi-stage, I think. We can test that theory with skim. So this might end up using more oil, but would end up with like more byproduct fuel, which we could use to you know, reduce the burden created by this facility. Right, so if we're going to say we're going to make let's just say 100 plastic, and we're going to make it from recycled plastic. Then we want to set fuel to diluted fuel. So that means we have 50 heavy oil residue left over. As we can see here, producing the rubber generates 50 heavy oil residue, but it only the fuel capacity only consumes 25. So then that would generate 200 rubber. So if we say, well, if we put on the input that we've got 100 plastic, and we say we want to generate 200 recycled rubber, Do we have any stuff left over? So that's a tiny fuel. Like we say, we have 25 heavy oil residue left over. How much fuel does it need? 90 fuel. Yeah, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have any leftovers. Yeah. Anyway. Right, oh, for fuck's sake. I have a strong dislike for that bug. I don't know if it's technically a bug, but I'm going to say if it's a bad user experience, I'd consider that bug. Right, where was I looking? Heatsink and media control unit. Right, let's wrap this floor up with railing. I could start getting production going, but I want to have everything planned out first. So we need a new floor. Hopefully this will be the last floor built. Yeah, because if we were optimizing for space, this would end up being a very much taller building. Let's get the basic walls put in. Let's put the background media back on. Get the ceiling fitted. Let's get some ceiling fitted for the floor below. Now we'll pause the background media because I'm going to need to be hopping up and down a lot between floors. Basically looking at a thing saying, is this item being produced here already? It's like, yes, no, okay, then we go and like put it on the thing. So we start from the bottom up. Okay, so I know we're already making wire, but are we making cooling the system? I don't think we are. Also, I noticed we haven't put the reinforced iron plate on yet. Oh, hang on a second, I need to make plastic for this. So, yeah, there might be some byproduct shit we can use. Because the idea being we would make default rubber for the plastic manifold and then recycle that into plastic. Which means I'm not sure where we would get the rubber and the fuel from, because it would be going funky. So we don't know how much reinforced iron plate we're gonna be needing, but we do know that we're gonna need iron plate, and rubber. And then for iron plate, we're gonna need plastic and steel ingot. Don't know how much rubber we're gonna need. But we do know that we need plastic and fuel. Actually, rather than putting these signs straight on the wall, I can just stack a bunch of signs up here. So you need cooling system. And radio control unit. we need aluminium casing. If we wanted to balance things out, anything that we need to make this stuff that isn't being made down here or, you know, down there, we could balance it out and stick it over here. Or we just keep on making this longer and longer, or we stick it up there. It depends on whether we want to like retain the pattern of that side is for space elevator parts or not. We want alumina solution and sulfuric acid. And then I'm thinking I might actually want another floor. Because the idea with water stuff was that it was going to be plumbed down from above. Which necessarily would mean anything that needs water needs to be well, underneath wherever water's coming from. So this floor up here might just have water and that's it. Yeah, one shot. To be honest, I'm not sure which direction I would get water from this time round, because last time round I tried to get it from over there. I don't think I actually finished the space elevator factory to the point where I used it. But one of the other things we could do, given that we're going to be plumbing water down, we could plumb water up. And just, you know, have pumps on the viaduct as needed. And then if we've got a viaduct running from over there for that copper node, we could just, you know, pull the water out from there. It really depends on whether I feel like doing a canister return loop or using a few pumps. I want to say a few pumps. Let's see. Pump Mark II goes up 50 meters. And these are 40 meters tall. Which means one run of stairs is also 40 meters tall. So we've got, let's get around the back. See, we're just going to try and calculate how tall this building is, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Except it's not a complete run. On here. So that is 5 plus 8 meters just to get to here. So we got 5 times 40 plus 8 plus 8 divided by 50. So we'd need 5 pumps to get from here to there, which isn't so bad, I suppose. Why am I going up the stairs? It really rather depends on how I want to actually build out the floor, because if I'm going to be plumbing it, I could just plumb up the entire amount of water and just plumb it, like plumb split it even. Done. And the other thing is plumb it up, put packages in the middle for flow control without, you know, backflow. And then use like packages for like precise division of labour. And then the other way of doing it is package up, unpackage loop, repackage for flow control. Right, so we're up to sulfuric acid. Right, now these two we got. Right, fuel needed for that one. Now we might be able to get away with doing that from the byproducts. We'll see what numbers we end up with. Nitric acid, yep, and then nitrogen gas. Oh, yeah, if we need nitric acid, that means we might have an excuse to make a dedicated iron plate manifold. So, nitric acid. Nitrogen gas. Aluminium ingot. Which, for obvious reasons, we probably want to put next to alumina solution. I think before I build out this floor, I actually want to do a hard drive run. Because if I can get some of the recipes that assist with lightening the burden of alumina solution, then I can actually justify using pure aluminium ingot. Right. Casing, we already have a floor for... Not a floor, but we already have assigned up there. Heavy modular frame we already have, motor we already have, nitrogen gas already flagged, water's gonna be upstairs, rubber we've got, heat sinks next. We've got that. Package nitrogen gas. Now, if we have nitrogen gas coming in, the only thing we need to do is have the empty fluid thingies. Because I'm still not I mean, I'm not certain which recipe we're going to stick with over there. I'm not certain which recipe we're going to use over here. I don't want to be digging a hole for myself just yet. Rotors are upstairs. Electromagnetic control rods are somewhere on this floor. Yep. Rubber is upstairs. Motors upstairs. Radio control unit should already be listed. Yep. So it's got fuse modular frame is on this floor. So yeah, that's all of them. So now we want to like rearrange these into the order that we want to do them in. Now, if we assume that we're going to use nitric acid at some point, I want to put a dedicated iron plate manifold in. Alright, so dedicated iron plate manifold would necessitate plastic and steel ingot. And we're going to need plastic for rubber. So plastic is going to go up here. So maybe we do plastic first. Oh, actually, no. Wait. We should take the same L-shaped production thing and do fuel first. So we can stick, like, so then we can just stack fuel generators behind the blenders. So, yeah. So we could plumb oil down, I suppose. That would be an interesting approach. Yeah. So this is primarily going to go to rubber. So we've got one external output on the floor below, and then there's a fuse modular frame thing that uses fuel. So that's two external outputs. Things upside down. That's in the wrong place. So we don't know how much we're making for rubber because we don't know how much rubber we need for reinforced iron plate crystal oscillator. Crystal oscillator isn't flagged, but it's going to be required as part of that. So if we follow the same pattern we did down there, where we start building shit out and say like, oh, we need that part, let's build the like requisites next, kind of thing. So, yeah. Figure that shit out. That's gonna need heavy oil residue and water. Now, some of that is gonna, well, not that, some of that is gonna come from byproducts. But we won't know how much extra we need to produce until we fire, you know, all the numbers up. But I think what we want to do is have dedicated heavy oil residue production over here. So any shortfall, we're going to primarily try and use the byproducts of rubber and plastic, which probably means we want to shift rubber up here. Otherwise we end up doing this, so that we have a return loop. So this will be the heavy oil residue coming from... Actually no, that's recycled, so there's not going to be any heavy oil residue coming from there. Never mind. We are going to have water coming in. Alright, so we're going to have plastic next. That's primarily going to go to rubber. It's going to have an unknown amount of oil coming in. If the plastic's going to be right there, well, first thing I want to check, I know I want to have iron plate as an internal output, but I want to check, have I got plastic anywhere else? No, at least not flagged immediately. Plastic there, we're gonna put iron plate there. It's going to go to reinforced iron plate. It's going to have one external input of steel ingots. amount of steel ingots and an unknown amount of plastic. Two, three, four. Well, for some reason, I'm going to count to 5 there. This is going to be steel ingots coming up, going to iron plate. Right, so this is going to be fuel, for which we have the unknown amount. Just fix the door there. Which is going to be made from unknown amount of heavy oil residue and an unknown amount of water. Could go plumb the water in now because we know we're going to put water up there. Well, I say we know, we might end up doing something completely daft now. Right, let's get that rotated. Next thing over is going to be any additional heavy oil residue that we need to make. And we're just going to straight up sync the byproducts for this one. So we're not even going to list it. But we know it's going to need an unknown amount of oil. So the next thing up is going to be plastic. For which we are making an unknown amount. Which is going to be made from fuel and rubber. Do that again. Fuel and rubber. That's just going to be straight up oil. Have unknown amount of iron plate. Taking an unknown amount of steel ingot and plastic. That's all them. So I want to be making alumina solution. So I'm going to put that on a sign, because like I say, I want to do a hard drive run. No, it's not that. Oh no, wait, yeah, I've got to set the reminder thing. Do alumina solution next. Right, where do I want to explore for drives? We have fog of war there. Fog of war there, and we have I suppose actually what I should do is I should pop out to the hub and actually unlock hard drive scanning, because up until now I've just been doing hard drive collections like opportunistically. Like I've just been going by eyeline and yeah, just checking I've got the North Coast one. So we go by eyeline and then saying like, oh, I've got to go back for parts, let's explore on the way back. Whereas now I'm actually specifically going to go looking for drives. I need 50 screw. Just trying to think, is there anything nearby that actually uses screw that I can steal from? I think Rotor uses screw. Do I have to unlock the actual radar tower to do that? Oh, radio signal scanning here. Right, so I need to craft a second one, which means I need to pop the stairs. But I also need 100 crystal oscillator and 100 motor, which we should have easily. could go out to one of the reset crash sites that have screws. I think if we head over to the nitrogen facility, I can save and take a break. Because I've got to get me like morning routine done and possibly get the lunch groceries done early. Let's get this saved. And we'll, yeah, so the plan is going to be, rather than like, oh, do the hard drive explosion now and then sit in front of the map, it's going to be go find the drive, build a MAM, scan, move on. Right, so that's going to be it for now. I'll be back on later to like this, well, possibly this morning, possibly after lunch, depends on how I'm feeling. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.